Just outside the city of St. Louis, there's one university that's been at the forefront of collegiate esports expansion and helped push professionalism, dominance, and growth throughout the ranks of the collegiate scene. Maryville University is known as one of the biggest, best, and most accomplished esports programs in the entire country. Now in their first year amongst the collegiate Overwatch ranks, they've once again established why they're considered to be one of the top contenders in the games they play. Between university support, great leadership, and extensive recruiting, Maryville has put together a juggernaut roster that could completely dominate the CEC this May.
Our Maryville has an edge over a lot of the other schools simply because they have someone that also works in the professional space. When I recruit for E United, I recruit similarly to the way I recruit for Maryville. I don't ever buy players. I don't ever buy talent from other organizations. I always kind of pick up rookie players or players that haven't had their shot yet, and I develop them. That fits really, really well in the collegiate because collegiate is purely developmental players, and I have a ton of experience working with developmental players. So these players that I pick up are kids that are extremely talented that have decided they don't want to go pro and they want to pursue a degree.
Maryville has thrown together an experienced team of Overwatch players that covers a wide range of ages and life experience. Some have even competed at higher levels of competitive Overwatch, like the Overwatch Contenders. Many of these players are not only competing in the game they love so much, but also using this experience to play collegiate esports to get a degree that can help them continue their careers in esports after college. Many of these players' parents never supported the concept of playing games for a living until they saw that their children were getting an education to do so.
My mom always saw video games as a horrible thing. She was always saying, get off that computer, get off that damn computer, focus on schoolwork. And that quickly changed when she saw money coming in. And now I'll look at her Facebook and all I see is posts of her saying, of just encouraging me, and it's so nice.
So before I kind of got this offer, he wasn't too stoked about me, trying to go pro in video games or playing them a lot or getting very competitive with them. And then as soon as he kind of saw this offer and saw that it was real, and he kind of turned to 180 and was like, hey, I really support this. I want to support you. What can I do? How can I help?
The director of esports for Maryville knew how big of an opportunity a fully developed esports program could be. With the backing and support of the university and his background in esports, he knew a program at Maryville could reach the top quickly. With experience in recruiting and developing players with E United, the professional North American esports organization, Clerke's knowledge and passion immediately made an impression on the school's faculty, most notably with the president of the university, Mark Lombardi.
Well, the inspiration came from Dan. He came into my office with a faculty member and started talking about esports. I understood every third word, but every third word that I understood, I was like, this sounds like it really could be something. And then Dan really convinced me that this was something that we could get in the ground floor on and do it right. It is a club sport, but you have to make the investment in it. Technology, the equipment and the games itself, the scholarships, etc. That you need to make that investment if you're going to make it, do it right.
So I've worked with, if you were to combine collegiate and pro, probably about 375 to 400 players in my career. I would say that probably the most common trait that I've seen in the most successful players that I've had is desperation.
Maryville University has done everything it can to support the esports program in its effort to become one of, if not the most dominating program in the entire nation. Maryville has shown the love and support to their program that many who operate in the collegiate esports scene believe every school should show. The better the facilities, the better the equipment, the better the support given by the school and those around the program means less uncertainty for the players themselves and a better ability to focus on winning.
We're like a hockey team. If our team needs us to bleed, we bleed. And I think that all of the staff on campus kind of follows that sentiment. So we will bend over backwards to make sure the students have every resource possible to kind of be successful here, not only here, but after they're here.
And we wanted it to be done the right way, invested in, supported, funded, but we also wanted it to be a real additive to the community and not simply something sitting out on the outside. And so in that way, you got to do it right. You got to recruit players that want to get an education, that want to be part of the community. You got to invest in what you need to invest in to give them the best competitive edge that they can, and then it's up to them to perform.
If we don't win, or if we don't win dominantly, it's a failure. This team is supposed to win. They know that they're supposed to win. They have more talent than every team in collegiate. They work harder than every team in collegiate. So it really just comes down to showing up and performing on that stage.
With all the support given to the Maryville University esports program, there comes a certain amount of pressure. The pressure not just to win, but be a dominating force as a program, and most especially as a highly recruited and overly talented Overwatch team, is as high as ever for Maryville. But even though the pressure is on, they know just how good they really are. Going into the CEC, they have their sights set on an even more lofty goal than just winning a championship. They want to dominate.
Our goal going into Houston, the first goal is to win, of course, that's the basic one, but for me, kind of a pride thing is I want to be the first team to go completely undefeated, never dropping a map. That is my go-to goal, and I think it's definitely feasible. This team we have is quite experienced, practiced, and are definitely, in my opinion, just vastly better than the competition. And I have no fears going into Houston that we will win the championship.
The college level, right now, it's pretty easy, right? It's almost like playing a pickup game. A lot of these players, they don't want to be pro, they just want to have fun and compete with their friends and at a college level. But Maryville's changing that. We're bringing contenders level players and putting them on scholarships, and we want to compete. That's all people in Overwatch want to do, is compete.
Domination is easy to talk about, but to actually do it at the highest competitive level, like the CEC, is a completely different story altogether. Maryville isn't expected to just be successful. The expectation for them to be on the same level as some of the most dominating college sports program in the country is the bar they have to clear.
Well, first thing is I got not 10 fingers here. I need at least 10 rings, because I'm not going to be, I want to do a Bill Russell, but when I retire, I'm holding more rings than I got fingers. You know, we want to be the Alabama, Clemson, Duke, you know, roll them all up. We want to be known as the pioneer of collegiate e-gaming, and we want to set a record that won't be matched.
Knowing they have the best chance at taking the CEC crown means they know the exact path they need to take to assert their dominance in Houston in May. With a roster as talented as Maryville has, they know that they have little to no room for error. They need to find a way to take home the trophy and show why everyone on the collegiate esports scene should fear them.
In esports, you go from your mother's bedroom to playing in front of thousands of people instantly. So that's a lot of nerves go into like that first game. So if we get in and we play Carleton first round and we sweep them, we're gonna sweep the whole tournament.
I'm definitely gifted with the players I got here. It's definitely something new for collegiate especially. There's been players that have gone from collegiate to pro before, but I think this is the first roster where we had so many on one spot.
It was to be expected. I mean, we were a recruited team, so it was going to be a disappointment if we didn't make it.
The bright lights of the CEC will shine the brightest on Maryville University in May, and every amount of preparation they've made has led to this point. It now remains to be seen whether or not they can succeed. Will they live up to the hype and talent, or will they crack under the pressure of the big stage?
With ESPN coming and hosting this tournament, I think it adds another level of pressure. It's something a lot of these players have never experienced in their lives before, especially if it's nationally televised. That's definitely gonna, they're gonna have to take a deep breath when they walk onto that stage and be ready for what they're gonna get.
This in Houston is massive for them. It's the first time for the parents to be able to see what their children just had achieved in years. Like, this is the moment for them.